With moving forward on, the working with the internet, one thing that you may have to do is to send documents online, whether that is through uploading it into an online application, uploading it into an email, something of that sort. So the next section here, what we're going to talk about is, how to save your documents to devices, and then how do you download and upload and send these documents that you have. So let's start with saving to a storage device, because anytime you type a document, you're going to probably want to save it somewhere. And this could also be pictures too. It doesn't necessarily have to be a document. So any type of item that you might be saving, you can save to these devices, or methods rather. Back in the day, you might be familiar with a floppy disk. So those are really outdated at this point. You might even not even see a floppy disk slot on your tower of your computer. So if you do have a floppy disk, you'll have to figure out how to get it to a computer that has one of those options to insert it. CD, DVD, it's not completely non-existent yet. A lot of the towers still have the CDs. It's another way that you could save documents, pictures, etc. too. The downside with it is, they get scratched, broken, things like that. And so that's kind of the downside with that one. Then you've got the more traditional way of doing things nowadays, which is a flash drive, or sometimes referred to as a thumb drive. And with that, essentially, you're saving this information onto a little drive. And I was going to see if I had one nearby. I do. Because I see here on my screen that the picture I've got is not showing very well. So here's an item, a thumb drive. And so basically, you can click and it pulls in and out, kind of closes it. Not very big. You usually can go like on a keychain or something like that. And when you go to a new computer, you can just pop this thing into the tower and the USB drive. Your documents are on it. So whether you're going to the library, the workforce center, a friend's house, your house, wherever, you can just take this and it's easy to transport. Because of how small it is and stuff, though, it's also easy to lose and get lost. So that's one downside of the flash drive, but overall pretty easy to use there. And then you've got what's called a cloud service. And so a cloud service is kind of like a service that you don't really see, that you're not really aware of, is kind of going on in the background. And you probably have a cloud service, probably use a cloud service, may not even know it. A lot of phones are connected to some type of cloud service. And so it usually has a lot of storage, and you don't have to carry around a flash drive or a CD or a floppy disk. You just sign into your cloud and then it's there. And so that means that your information stores itself to some type of server, and the server is located in a building somewhere. And so the reality is that it's pretty safe, but we can never say that something is 100% secure. Either hackers or even a natural disaster, if it took out that building, the server is somewhere. Somewhere is your information. And so the cloud service is another option that you could potentially use these days, which would allow you the convenience of just logging in, and then you'll have access to it. So when you save your documents, you're going to be saving it to one of these services or items. So what is the difference between upload and download? So uploading something is taking something that you already have on your flash drive, on your CD, on your floppy disk, and uploading it or putting it into the computer, and then you're sending it off and away. Now, to download something, that is where you're getting something off the computer. So it's either on a website, you're trying to download it so you have it, or maybe your friend sent you a picture, and so you're wanting to keep that picture. And so you're trying to take it from the computer and put it onto something tangible that you have, like a flash drive, CD, floppy disk, or cloud service even, okay? And so the act of downloading is taking something from somewhere else and putting it onto something that you have in front of you. So that may just even be downloading it to your computer tower. That's another option, you know, to where you're saving it on your computer's memory. So if you're uploading, some keywords that you'll probably see are like browse, for example. You might see a paperclip. So that's a little bit more subtle type way to show that you're uploading something. A lot of times the paperclip is seen in emails. And then you might see an actual up button. And so that would indicate an upload. Download, maybe a down arrow. It could say download too, or it could be downloaded to the cloud. And so Google has their own cloud service, which is called the Google Drive, which we'll touch base on too. So what we're going to do next is we're going to get into an email account. I'm going to show you how to upload, download, etc. I'm going to get into this fake account though. Gmail.com. I'm sorry, I forgot where we were going. I'm going to copy this information. Not what I wanted. Okay. So I'm going to this email account. It says I'm typing in Kansas Works. No. Okay. So now it's uploading this email account, which in the past we generally use in the classroom. So I'll walk you through the steps using some old information here. All right. So if I were to get an email and it has somebody's resume on there, picture on there, whatever it may be, what I can do is find the email, and you'll know that it has an attachment, especially in Google, because it looks like this. It has like a little button there. And if I click on that button, and I'm going to move some pictures around here because you can't see. Okay. So here's the pretend document. And if we wanted to download, here's that down arrow. And if I scroll over, it says download. But also here's the one that says drive. So if you are using the drive, if that's easier for you, you could also do that. But I'm going to show you the download first. So you click the download button. And then here's the item. So I'm going to open it up fully, because that's kind of just like the preview, if you will. And so when I opened it up fully, this is what I got. I'm going to enable the editing on this. And then I'm going to go File, Save As. I usually always save to my desktop, but again, if you know where you want to save to and the desktop's not it, then that's fine too. So I'm going to go to my desktop. double click. And then I'm going to choose desktop again. So for me, I call these like filing cabinets, if you will. So these are all your files in your filing cabinet that you could store things. And I usually always store to my desktop. So I click that again. And then you're going to name your document. I'm just going to name it here, testing 1, 2, 3. And you'll make sure that it's still within that Word document. And then you'll just go ahead and click save. So now it has saved this resume that we got from Beverly, and Beverly sent it in the email. So we downloaded it and then we saved it as a new document in this computer. So if I wanted to send this document to somebody, let's take a look at what we need to do. I'm going to go back. Okay. So if you're wanting to compose an email, this is a lesson not only in uploading, but also composing an email. So to compose an email in Google, you're going to hit the plus sign. And then it is going to ask you, who are you sending this to? So I'm going to send it to myself, which is this workforceworkshops@gmail.com. And I'm going to put testing 1, 2, 3. And for you, if you were sending your resume off to somebody, you would have, what position, etc. You're going to say, dear so-and-so, type in your body of your message. Thank you, sincerely. However, you're ending your letter and your name, right? Okay. But if I want to send this resume off and add it to this email that I've composed, paperclip is what I mentioned earlier, is often seen in the email. So this is where it says attach files. If you scroll over it, this is essentially the same thing as upload. So I'm going to click the little paperclip. Then I saved it to my desktop, remember? And it was like Beverly's resume, testing 1, 2, 3. Oh, there it is. So I find it in the filing cabinet, Beverly's resume, testing 1, 2, 3. And now you'll see right here that it says that. And so that means it is uploaded. So I'm going to go ahead and hit send. So I hit send. I'm going to refresh my screen. I see it's already there though. And so from myself to myself, I've sent an email to demonstrate this for you. And so now here we are. We've got this email. If I click on the item, here's our document that we attached. Oops. Didn't do that. Back to Google. All right. So just to show you this too, now that I'm back on Google, if I want to get back to my Gmail, I can either click Gmail, or if you click the little checkered button there, then it also gives all of the apps on this particular program. And so we were in our Gmail account, we can click on it. Okay. Now I want a different one. 1 second. Okay, I want to go to the workforce workshops one. So you see that here's that document that we had sent over from ourselves to ourselves. And so I do recommend, especially if you're doing your resume, that you also do that. You send from yourself to yourself, because that ensures that you'll always have your resume. Let's say something were to happen to any of the places you're currently storing it, whether that is your floppy disk or a CD or the cloud or your computer, then you have somewhere else to go to potentially retrieve it. And so that will wrap up upload, download, but I do want to show downloading to the drive. So I'm going to click on this item again, which is the attachment that we see. And so as mentioned before, the regular download is here. You're going to click add to my drive if that is what you would like to do to save it to your drive. So I click there. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my drive, which I click on that checkered little box there where it says Google Apps. And I'm going to go to where it says Drive. And the Drive is another storage, like I said, a cloud service. And so we can save these documents and stuff, which is really nice as well. And to where you can just log into your email account. Let's say if you go to the library or the workforce center, and then you can pull up all of your documents that are saved to the drive. So here's the one we saved today, Beverly Resume Testing 1, 2, 3. So it did actually go to the My Drive, and we're seeing it from this quick access bar. Okay. If I double click on it, it brings up the document. And so the Google Drive offers several different things. Besides it being a cloud service where you'd save your documents to, they also have like Google Docs. Then they have other programs that are similar to Excel. And so you can actually do several things. Google Sheets is what it's called. I apologize. For the one that's similar to Excel. And then they got Google Slides that's similar to PowerPoint. So if you don't have the Microsoft Office product and you don't have access to Word, Excel, or PowerPoint, this would be an alternative option to create things in the drive. So the drive is a cloud, but it also provides these other Google Docs to help you if you don't have the Microsoft Office products. So you can create a new folder if you're trying to organize things. That's always an option. You can click more and see what other options you have as well. And the main thing that, I would say probably most people use this for is that they can store their documents here and not to carry anything really around, just log into it and they have access. Just trying to make sure that I didn't forget anything. Okay. So that really wraps up the Google Drive as well. It's free. There's no charge. It's something that does take a little bit of getting used to, but once you do, it really comes in handy. So to compose an email again, you're just going to go new. I'm not in the email. I apologize. Okay, over here, go to compose. Type in your new information to subject, fill it in. To attach, you're going to click that paper clip, and you're going to find that item you stored on your computer. Okay. And then you'll just upload it from there. If it is something you had from the drive, though, you'll click the little drive symbol. And then now you'll click on the one that we saved. And once it's been uploaded into the email successfully, like I said, you'll see this blue and blue link showing that item has been uploaded. That will wrap things up for that. Just going to make sure I haven't forgotten anything else here on our PowerPoint. So just a few kind of helpful resources. If you're learning to type, here's some options for you. If you want to learn more computer vocabulary or basic computer skills, or free online education, here are some options for you. And if you have any questions, please reach out. You can watch lots of videos on our YouTube channel, each of them for the classes that we offer in person. And then there are some additional ones that we don't offer in person. So definitely check those out as well. Thank you so much.